Our soap was made as a parody of The Only Way is Essex. The Only Way is Essex is the docu-soap, a constructed reality, where the characters all live glamorous, wealthy lifestyles. The characterisation of the characters for our soap was over-exaggerated to form our genre of a parody. The way we fake-tanned the boys' faces, and only their faces, is developing conventions. The way Fred bought a car for only £25 and Donny stating he wished he had that much money really plays on the stereotypes of the characters. Our characters are very materialistic, shallow and have a very low intelligence. For example, we deliberately played with the grammar in the shots where Fred sends Donny a text message. We use the word bide instead of bought to emphasise the fact that the characters are not bright at all. There is a huge gender divide, providing the gender norms of that the boys and the girls are both completely straight. Emphasising this, we exaggerated the girls being girly, which is the makeup and the hair, and the boys being masculine, for example the cars and the girls. We decided to base the name which exaggerates the social trends and conventions of this soap. We chose the overused word ream as the name of our soap, as this word is very commonly used throughout. It is the one word linked to The Only Way is Essex, so the audience will understand the meaning of this word. Our soap was made as a parody of The Only Way is Essex. We discovered that a common convention for soap operas was to establish the location of where the characters are positioned. For example, Made in Chelsea is usually a grand house, Desperate Housewives is a club or a cafe, and in The Only Way is Essex, this is usually a character's house, so this is what we chose. The type of house we chose was very important. We chose a middle-class normal house, which deliberately did not match up to the level of wealth in The Only Way is Essex itself. This is because the camera usually pans across a very grand, large, wealthy house, but in our case it didn't. This instantly shows and tells the audience, being the first shot, that these characters aren't necessarily extremely wealthy. They are average people, who have aspirations to be something of which they are not. The first scene we decided to film is where the characters are getting ready for a night out. We discovered this idea from watching The Only Way is Essex trailer, and would be useful for short snippets which match the sharp music. Also, because this type of scene is extremely common in these constructed reality soap operas, as it exaggerates that all that matters is appearance and how vain the characters are. We use mainly close-ups to show what the characters are doing and their expressions on their faces, which in this case is mainly pouting, squinting of the eyes and admiring yourself in the mirror. Another shot we used is an over-the-shoulder shot of one character looking into a mirror, which is typical for characters in this kind of soap. We challenged this from watching the existing trailer. This worked really well as it shows the mise-en-scène as well as the character. This mise-en-scène is exaggerated in this shot because we have overused the colour pink a lot to exaggerate the gender divide of the girls being obsessed with the girly material things. With the camera work, we decided to try and make the audience feel as if they were the fourth wall, as this type of shot is a common convention in the soap operas to make the audience feel and really connect with the characters, and it becomes a lot more realistic. We used an extreme close-up of Fred applying a load of gel onto his hands and rubbing it in, to parody how much gel they actually use. We found this idea from the existing trailer where Arch does the same, but not with as much gel. We used as much natural daylight lighting as we could to make it become more realistic for the audience. Combining the mise-en-scène, sound, camera work and editing together really well resulted in the audience feeling as if they were actually there in the shot. We used two shots to show the connection between the two characters. Instead of two characters arguing in the existing trailer, we filmed a girl applying lip gloss to another girl to exaggerate the convention that The Only Way is Essex is all about appearance and grooming to perfection. The typical cheating scenario is used in our trailer, where Fred is cheating on both Chanel and Uggy. To exaggerate this scene, we shot Chanel pouring a bottle of water over Uggy, cut to close-ups of Uggy and Fred with a shocked expression. This is usually a serious narrative in soap operas, so we develop the conventions by Fred and Chanel overlapping speech, saying, "He's my boyfriend, she's my sister." This brought in humour to the serious situation. This narrative is a social trend that people are able to relate to, because in today's society, cheating and divorce has become a lot more common, but at the same time, I made it a funny narrative, not so serious. Another convention of soap operas is where a character sends a text message to another, showing important information. In our case, Fred sent his best friend Donnie a text saying, "Just bide, the babe magnet." The fact the message isn't that serious plays on the convention of it is usually an important message. We deliberately play with the grammar, we used bide instead of bought, again to emphasise the fact that the characters aren't bright. The scene about Fred buying a car, which is referred to as the babe magnet, is developed from The Only Way is Essex. However, in the existing Essex trailer, they refer to the car as a bird magnet. We have mimic dialogue throughout the trailer. For example, Mark refers to his car as a bird magnet, where he questions Arch if it is a bird magnet or not, whereas we refer to the car as a babe magnet, and he questions the audience. The word babe is a lot more cheesy and exaggerated.